And we are live.
Hello, welcome back to. Can I be heard? Someone sounds funny in
Yeah,
there.
we're here.
Welcome back to our bi-weekly developer sync for Autonomous. We have actually, I think, quite a bit to cover today, so we can just uh, jump right in. To start, uh, I know we'll be addressing this. Actually, let me pull up my screen. So I know we'll be addressing this quite a bit throughout the um, fall, but as everybody who's involved with the network and in testing the network knows, the XDM stress testing has in fact caused some stress on the network. This obviously is kind of why we're doing it. So while it can be stressful in the moment, ultimately we're going to end up with a much stronger network out of it. One thing I did forget to add on here, but I'll mention is we did launch this morning a bridge from Taurus EVM to Sepolia and back. So we'll add a link to that into the show notes. I think, Jim, you can handle that. So yeah, that for the main communication, the team-wide communication, I think that is all I have. We can jump into specifics, starting with community.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, so there's something really exciting actually. The autonomous auto EVM to Sepolia bridge. I will pop the link in the video description if you're catching up later. Excuse me. Okay, so from the community, so we have some hot topics, as Jeremy said. We asked for transactions, and the community have responded in kind. Um, Absolutely, we are seeing lots of activity with our XDM. But first, actually, I just want to mention that a previous hot topic was the two-peer issue. So that is actually fixed in the latest build. And I want to stress how important it is that if you are running a farmer or an operator, especially an operator on Taurus, you should be on the MAR 26, the March the 26th build. Again, I will put the link to that release in the description down below. I think we're going to be doing another release soon, but as of this video being recorded, it's March 26th is the build you want. Excuse me. So yeah, crossing the narrow sea, the XDM testing. Yeah, so we have seen a lot of engagement here, which is wonderful to see, of course. It does mean that our channels are full at the moment, and there is a tool you can see here. Again, it will be in the description, but there you can check the channel utilization. So if you are trying to submit transactions, it's worth waiting. We do see lulls. It does go up and down. So if you see that we are at capacity, try again later. But yeah, it's great to see the engagement from the community. It is helping us identify bugs and bottlenecks. So further hot issues or hot topics, sorry, from the community have been high RAM usage. Just to let you know that we're also running these test builds, so we are seeing it as well. And what's happening there is that the high RAM usage is tending to cause OOM killers, so out of memory killers, to kick in. So we see that that's affected the network. We're actually testing a build at the moment to see if that's fixed. We might talk on that a little bit later. We also have multiple reports of the slow domain block production messages. And in general, a difficulty staying in sync. Again, we see the node count on telemetry. We understand and we are working towards those issues. Okay, in addition, in the wider game of domains context, we've also had reports of issues staking via Astral. So it's a mixture of some people are expecting things to happen quicker than they are. It's a question of education, which is going on in Discord. But sometimes, yeah, we know that there are some UI issues as well. Where I've seen people get unblocked is you can always use Polka.js, of course. You can submit the extrinsic directly. So if you are experiencing issues, we want to hear about it. Let us know about those in Discord or raise a post on the forum. Another thing we have going on is that we are working on a pull request to update the documentation to demonstrate how you can transfer both ways using Astral. So that would be XDM transfer from consensus to auto EVM, and then the important one, auto EVM back to consensus. And essentially, we need a wallet that's able to distinguish between EVM accounts and substrate accounts. So keep an eye out for that. We will put out announcements when that's ready for you. Okay, shifting away from hot topics, not the weekend just gone, but the weekend before, we collaborated with the Kansas University Blockchain Institute on their blockathon. We saw a number of submissions, and if you want to check out the winner and their oversized check, it's on X. Again, I'll put the link in the description down below. Lots of lessons learned on our side, and I do want people to be aware that we are deploying applications. So the blockathon was part of our wider Aurora buildathon, and we are collating all of the dApps that have been submitted for all of these initiatives, and we are deploying well, as many as we can. So keep an eye out for an announcement there. You'll be able to go in and have a play with them with some Taurus testnet tokens, and of course keep your eyes peeled for the next Aurora initiative, which we are working on in the background. Finally, before I sign off, it's a reminder that the testnet is there to find bugs. I know that it can be disappointing if you have a plan and you want to get things achieved, but reporting those bugs, giving us the space to understand and then fix them, that is how we end up with a solid mainnet, which is absolutely rock solid for a while now. So that doesn't happen accidentally. The community, your reports, and your insights into how you got into these states is what allows us to drive the progress forward there. So yeah, testnet is there to find bugs. So please do report them. Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, let's move on to protocol updates. Ved's got quite a bit to cover, in that his team has been busy taking care of all of those bugs that the community has been finding through the stress testing. So.
Hey everyone. Okay, let's quickly go through a bunch of these. We do see a lot of people reported XDM errors. Ideally, like we've mentioned before, not an XDM error per se, but it's just the influx of number of XDMs coming in, the transaction pool wouldn't be able to handle. We have downgraded those to just debugs for now. We'll see if they need to be revalidated again in the future, but this is not causing any issues with how the XDMs are processing in general. We've been keeping track of that over the network for some time now. Now, the next important one turns out to be the high RAM usage. This was mostly because of when we started out XDM. There's a lot of messages coming in, so our block sizes are getting bigger. Upstream Substrate had an assumption for these kind of block sizes to be smaller ones with a faster finality. So that kind of burned us down there in terms of high RAM usage here, because we ended up keeping a lot of this data on RAM. We actually made a fix for that. We are testing. We will be releasing shortly the fix to actually fix that issue. From what we've seen with the new fix, we are seeing around 3 to 5 gigs of RAM being used rather than an exceeding amount of 150 or so. But one thing to note is that when you first pull the new fix from the new release, which is going to happen soon, you will still see a high RAM usage for the first time. That's because we are trying to clean up the data on chain when the chain starts up on the memory, but that memory slowly goes down. If you do see OEMs for the first run, Unfortunately, there's only one way of getting it up and running is to just resync from the beginning, because if it's taking more than 32 gigs, which is what we recommend folks who are running operator node to have. So we have seen situations where it can go up to 32 gigs. So if that's the case, just start fresh with no data, and then that should not have any issues going forward on that end. One last thing on the other issues that we found was the staking. There was an edge case in staking where one user ended up accidentally trying to withdraw zero amount uh, completely on us for actually letting that edge case happen. We are actively working on getting a fix. We will be having a fix for that in the next runtime upgrade. And the user whose funds are unable to unlock right now, they should be able to unlock once the upgrade is done. So the funds are not lost; they're just there in the protocol. You'll have it as soon as we have the fix for it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much on our end. We are still looking at other small fixes, but again, as Jim mentioned, if you find anything weird, if you see something that's not supposed to be in the logs, just let us know and we'll investigate and we'll take necessary actions. Thanks.
When do you expect that we'll have that new build out for the out of memory problems?
Uh, Immediately after this sync, we were just waiting for one small change to go in, but yeah, as soon as the meeting is done, I'll cut a new release for folks to just pull it down.
Okay. And another thing I know we've been working on, and I think it's in testing phase right now, is fast sync. And given people might need to resync, kind of where are we with that? Is that something that's, yeah, when do we expect that'll be available to people?
Yeah, we've been testing domain sync, domain fast sync, or snap sync, we call it. It's currently in the audit phase. As soon as we are done with audit, we will actually put on the documentation on how to enable fast sync as well on the clients and people who are starting fresh, like if, in this case, they should be able to sync at a much higher speeds compared to the full sync. Again, that is still going to be an optional if someone wants to do a full sync, if they want to run a chain with all the data itself. Again, that's something we already have, but this is specifically for someone who wants to get up to sync much faster.
Okay. All right, let's move on to Mark.
Yeah, so for our Explorer,
I put in our note lots of stuff. So I just
yeah, a lot of things. I'll separate it in like maybe 3 categories. So what has been changed since the last dev sync? So anyone that's nominating operator or operator have probably noticed a very huge spikes in API. So previously, 2 weeks ago, we were not mapping correctly all the events. We were skipping a bunch of events that happen on the same blocks or the same extrinsic for operator rewards and tax collected. So that was, decreasing the API on the Explorer, even though like you were actually getting those rewards. And so we fixed that on the indexer. So now the API are much higher and all the data is there. So that applied for tax collected as well as operator reward, therefore API. So that's cool. We fixed issue with status on deposit and withdrawal that were not switching, and so that was affecting the unlock and the events that you can, the action that you can actually do on your nomination, as well as what's in the pipeline. So fix that are currently on the dev environment, but not yet pushed to production. We have the fix for the leaderboard. So since recent change with upstream, we have unsigned extrinsic show with no signer. Previously, we had a signer, but there was just no signature. So we were able to match, for example, votes to who actually did the votes. Now we can't. So that impact on the that was having an impact on the leaderboard with empty now empty row for those. So that has been fixed. Same thing with like the operator section of the leaderboard was looking a bit strange. So that's fixed on the developer environment. We'll push to production and today or tomorrow, very likely. We have worked on a profile section for Astral to start building a private public profile, and you can set up fields that you want to make public. So let's say like your Discord handle, your bio, your name, an avatar, banners. And I feel this will probably be very useful for operator, for example, to try to advocate who they are or what they're using as equipment. We add sorry, I'm looking at my list. And that also allow you to link wallets together or to tag wallet, right? So like if I know the wallet of Jeremy, I can tag that wallet as Jeremy. So then if I see transaction coming from him, I'll be able to detect it. Not all those feature has been yet added, and we're starting the building blocks. So it's not like if you're tagging right now a wallet, once we'll push it to production, it doesn't yet show everywhere on Astral, but that's the plan to go towards that. You can also create API keys, and we'll have like a RESTful API that you'll be able to use those API key with. We switched it previously. We were saving some of the session for the verification of the roles on Discord. That's where we're working with. We were saving them on a centralized database, FaunaDB, and funnily enough, they are terminating their service. So now, very soon, at the end of the month, all our database we're using it very small amounts, but that database won't be accessible anymore. So we decided to go towards our own solution, so AutoDrive with AutoEVM, to store the credential, the information that we want encrypted, and that will be permanent. That's a good example of how to use AutoDrive and AutoEVM for permanent data storage, for user session for a website, right? Like the most useful thing to store that you don't want to lose is your user database, basically, right? So we're switching towards that. To what else that I have on my list? Yeah, so operator details on the staking interface has now, when we'll push to prod, much more detail. So a list of all the rewards that the operator collected, all the bundle that they submitted, all the deposit, all the withdrawal in detail. So that can be useful if you're really looking deep into the operators. So that's pretty much for what will be upcoming really soon. What's in the work right now is a redo again of the staking interface. So Jeremy has been very helpful in providing a lot of feedback and mock-up of like how we can improve even better the staking interface, especially the nomination page. So we'll be working on applying those changes and improving even more the staking interface. So that's in the work. That's pretty much it for the Explorer.
There was a mention from Jim regarding that people at times were having a hard time with the getting staked due to the indexer potentially. Is there something, or was there an issue with that? I guess
getting stakes.
Jim, maybe you could jump in here.
Yeah, so I think we've had multiple instances where the indexer has got behind, which means that if the user is performing some actions on the UI, they're expecting things to happen immediately. It's just a little bit confusing. I want to, again, really it's to try and educate people that if you see that banner, the index are out of sync, it could mean that when you're using the Astral interface to stake, you have to be aware that there's a small delay. But again, the chain state is always up to the minute and available on Polkadot. If you're experiencing issues, yeah, come and find us in Discord and we can get you back on track.
I think a lot of these feedback as well were pointed with by Jeremy over the last week. So for example, the wallet sidekick is kind of like missing a lot of the staking functionality that we had back in the last stake war. And so that need to be improved, or if you're, for example, if you're redrawing, the nomination page doesn't update and doesn't add your redrawal right away, except if you like refresh the page. So these will be improved shortly. Yeah.
This is why we're running the test on testnet, of course.
Exactly.
Of course.
We also add, that's going to be pushed soon. Naman has been hard at work on adding history page to the transfer, so to see your transfer. We're still working. We still need to work on the auto EVM part to like index the XDM that happened on auto EVM and merge both chain together, basically. But right now, if you're doing transfer or XDM from consensus to domain, as soon as we push to production, there will be another tabs in the transfer section with your history, and where you'll be able to see all the transfer that happened or transfer received as well.
Right. Great. All right. Well, moving on. Naman, I know you've jumped right in on a few different projects. So first one, let's talk about is the faucet. Were you gonna demo the updated faucet for us?
Thank you, Jeremy. Yes, sure. So we'll see the brand new application of faucet. So earlier it was there, but it is rebranded from Subspace to Autonomous. I will say my screen.
No pressure.
And Naman was asked to do this demo about 5 minutes before the call started, so really no pressure.
I hope everything will work seamlessly. So this is the new page basically. So as we know, like before getting any token, we need to connect our wallet, then GitHub, then follow us on GitHub, then connect your GitHub account. Then only you can request the token, either GitHub or Discord. And apart from that, earlier we used just have EVM tokens we can request, but now we can also request consensus token. So let's say I want to connect my consensus wallet. Let's say it is connected now. Either I will join the Discord or follow us on GitHub. Let's say I want to sign in. Takes some time to okay, that's weird. Let's try
The live demo gods here.
Okay, so here at least we have the request token button. So let's say my wallet is connected now. Okay, there is something wrong.
I remember I tested and it was working, so yeah.
Yeah, it was working.
But it's maybe because of the different URL. So we added autonomousfaucet.com, autonomousfaucet.xyz, and we still have subspacefaucet.com that's also working. So there's maybe like an issue with one or a couple of those domain versus that we need to check with.
Apart from that, the flow was exact same what we used to have earlier. It just the UI changes what we have made. So folks should be able to request token once this domain issue should be fixed.
And the addition of the consensus faucet as well. So
Yes.
now you
So
can get token on both testnet on
testnet, basically. Apart from that, we have another update about the auto gateway. So this is the landing page for that. So let's say if you have created something on auto drive, so and you want to see, so what you can do is you can come here, copy this CID ID and paste it here, and then you can view. So this will help you to view what document it has, and after that you can of course, download it. So these are two updates.
Looking great.
I was really glad that one worked.
This was working all the time.
Yeah. Carlos was glad that one worked too as well. I'm sure. So, cool. All right. Well, we'll get the right after the call. We'll get the faucet
Figure it
issue
out.
worked out. Yeah. So, thank you, Naman, for doing the live demo minutes after being asked to do it. So, yeah. All right. We can move on to Carlos.
Hello. Hello. So these 2 weeks, we've been working in like a lot of mundane stuff, like trying to improving the robustness of Autodrive, but like the main features and the main updates, it's that we've been working on improving the performance of the files gateway in order to improve the bandwidth, the download bandwidth of archive files in the DSM. This is a job from protocol and from product, and yeah, Dior has been working roughly on the protocol side, and we're trying to improve the bandwidth. We don't have yet any numbers to show up, but it's looking quite good. Additionally, we've added a couple of features to Autofiles Gateway. Basically, in the object mapping indexer, basically the system that listens to the blockchain and retrieves the emitted events that maps a specific object mapping into the position in the DSN. So to this service, we've added a new feature that basically allows some developer that is building with the files gateway to retrieve all the archive object mappings from another indexer. So let's say that some developer is building with the Optofiles gateway, and they could use our indexer for basically retrieve all the archive object mappings. So basically, they don't have the burden to get all the object mappings from them, by themselves. And additionally, like the latest update has been that we have added a tagging system. Maybe you've seen in the Autograph frontend that some files has been marked as insecure or as insecure. And basically, we've added at least at this time a really simple system that basically analyze the file. Currently, it only checks the extension of the file, but this would be more complex in the future. And mark as insecure if it detects some anonymity, something about. And yep, that's kind of it.
All right. Thank you, Carlos. Saeed, I know you've been busy, lots of stuff happening on the agent side. You gonna catch us up?
Yeah, sure. So two releases happened within the two last weeks, 041 and 042, and probably we are gonna release the 0.5 today or tomorrow. So for these releases, we introduced Docker image. So this Docker image design is solely to make you more portable and more seamless interaction with TE, which is upcoming into our agent framework. I need to have a disclaimer that this Docker image will not should publish anywhere. And the reason is, if you look at the design of this image, you will see some anomaly. And the reason is there are like lots of secret and credentials happening inside the agent, which must be with you only. And for the seamless integration with TE for now, we are moving all of them as a volume to the container, but only the Docker image will have access to it. But it's still like there are some security issues is there if you wanted to publish it with everyone in a public. So to sum up, this Docker image is going to make you more portable. Probably we are thinking about like uploading this image to the auto drive, or at least some minimum credentials that you need to set up your Docker image into the auto drive. So basically, after that, you can deploy your image without any credential and just download the credentials from the auto drive and put everything together. And there you go. So that was exciting. And the next news is about the package manager. We managed to get into the V1. It's not published yet. Hopefully, it would be something that's happening this week. But regarding the contract that is registering all of the packages, these packages can be tools, can be agents of yourself, is optimized in case of gas consumptions. So that was a great news. And hopefully, as I said, we will publish the version 0.1 this week, and we will connect it to the framework. So you don't need to open a PR, for example, to publish a tool. You can just simply use the package manager to publish the tool, and it will be accessible to anybody. And it is a permissionless, so anybody can publish anything that they want at the moment. The next update is more or less about the reconstruction and refactoring the code. So as we were moving forward, there were lots of things happening. So to make it more scalable and to have a better maintenance on the repo, we switched to the Yarn workspace and upgraded the Yarn from the classic Yarn v1 to Berry 4.8. So right now, we can just simply install all the needed packages for the web CLI and the agent with just simple Yarn. And we removed all of the barriers that you have to configure, like install all the packages in the CLI and then the agent and put everything together afterwards. We removed all of that. So it's much simpler and seamless dev experience, I would say. And yeah, we are still working on the developer experience to make it better, to make it more friendly, and hopefully that you can get a much and maximum performance with the minimum barriers. The next update is about like the web CLI. There are some mostly UI updates that's happening on the CLI. Some of them have been merged, and some of them happen on the branch, which is not main, and I will create a pull request to have them merge as well. But mostly it's about like crafting and to make it best of the logs. So the logs are not very useful at the moment. Like it's not a best user interface. We were working on that, and also right now with this new features, you can see all of the tasks which have been failed, completed, or deleted by the agent or by yourself. You can have a better management, everything from one place instead of like jumping into the code. Yeah, that was all from me. Jeremy, do you have anything?
I'm just going to add that my focus over the next week and along with Saeed will be on improving the developer experience and probably coming up with kind of a whole new developer experience than what we have right now, meaning it won't be expected for you to be cloning or forking the repo and maintaining it yourself, but moving more towards really robust tooling to let you kind of manage your own agent repo. So be on the lookout for that. I hope we have some initial version of that before our next call. All right. Well, we made it through and only went over by 5 minutes here. So thank you all for joining us. We'll look forward to seeing everybody back in 2 weeks.
Don't hesitate to contribute to our code base, to like, to reshare, show your love.